Hello, good evening. Good evening. I've lost my voice from talking for 31 days probably now. I live in Israel on Kibbutz Be'eri. It was my daughter's 9th birthday today. She's in the tunnels of Gaza. We're just on a campaign to try and get her back. We hoped that we would get her back before her birthday. But now we'll just have to see when we get her back. Our kibbutz is destroyed. My daughter was in Australia. She heard about what was going on, rang me up. She said, "I'm coming home." I said, "Don't come home. There's nothing left. There's nothing to come home to." Of course she did. She wanted a hug from her dad, a hug from her brother. She just had to be with us. It was a lovely service. I've never seen so many happy people in the one space. It's very nice. You obviously really enjoy this community, which is great. Thank you for having us. Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible day. Our kibbutz has 1,200 people and we lost 120 dead. 32 kidnapped. Babies, children, women, metaplot, elderly, handicapped. They didn't care. They didn't care. But the main focus in my head now is to get my daughter back. Bring them home. Bring them home. That's my only focus in life now. She was a beautiful little kid. Happy. She loved music. She'd done piano for 2 years. She learned how to read the music, and this year she wanted to give up piano and start the guitar. So, yeah, hopefully she will come back and be able to do it. When she comes back, I think I'm probably going to be an overprotective father. Like, I won't let her out of my sight. Yeah, I'll be a right pain. But I'll learn to let go. We don't know what state she's going to come back in. Certainly mentally broken. And possibly physically broken as well. The Hamas are not even letting the Red Cross in to see them, see if they need medical attention. So yeah, we don't know if they're malnourished, dehydrated, living in unhygienic conditions as regards toilet facilities. But yeah, if they give her back to me, bring her home, bring it back to me, my eldest daughter and my elder daughter. No, my eldest daughter and my son, my older son. Yeah, we'll fix her. We'll do everything we can to fix her. We just want her home. Thank you. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So my name is Rob. I'm from Israel, but originally London, as the accent gives it away. Okay, probably. Is that better? So, I think it goes without saying that 9-year-old girls should be opening birthday presents with their family and blowing out candles. They shouldn't be where Emily is right now. And Ordelia and I are representing the forum, the Hostages and Missing Peoples Forum. And we're leading a lot of the international efforts to do everything we can to help bring them home. So I thought I'd share with you a little bit about what it is we're doing and how the forum came together. So I'll speak for about 5 minutes, and I hope by the end you'll be able to connect emotionally, because the magnitude of what happened in Israel on the 7th of October is not something that, as humans with emotional conscience, we should be able to actually process and internalize. Only when we break it down, I think is it possible. I've always been taught. Come on. Okay.
Yeah.
Play.
6-4.
See. On October the 7th, there was a gentleman called Malki. Malki's married to Shelley. They have a 21-year-old son called Omer. And Omer loved Friday night. And after Friday night that evening, he went into a car and drove to the Nova Festival. Some of us are wearing these. This is exactly the same bracelet as they wore at the festival, and they've been now recreated, and we keep them on until the hostages are home. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, Omer, like many others, realized that something very wrong was happening. And he was in contact with his father, Malki, and Shelley over a 3-hour period. And by 9 o'clock, it was getting more and more concerning. He had found a car and was telling his parents that he was trying to escape. And his father said, "Put the live location on from WhatsApp." And that was the last time they heard from their son. But they watched over the next hour on the map this icon going towards Gaza. And his father said to Ordelia and I, said, I expected that, I'd be able to call him. It's not possible to go from Israel to Gaza by mistake. They've probably gone the wrong way. And they saw his son into Gaza. They rushed to hospitals in the area to try and find out information. And only at 9 o'clock that night, so from 6 in the morning till 9 o'clock in the evening, only then did they see pictures of their son on social media in a pickup truck. And the stories of this go on and on and on. Malki went home, and in his house a few people gathered. And within 24 hours, that was the beginning of a forum, which is a civilian-led forum, now consisting of hundreds of volunteers. And we do everything that we can to support the families and bring them home. So what are we doing? And this comes down to questions in terms of how can people help. The first thing is we're doing everything to support the families. That is legal consultation with law firms in terms of rights and coordination with the Red Cross. Because as Thomas said, information, there's no sign of life, no information has been given. The second thing we do, and Ofrit will talk about it later, is provide psychological support. You can just go to imagine what type of support is going to be needed for the families and for those who were taken for a long period of time. And we could talk separately about the fact that an entire population of 9 million is now going through post-traumatic stress, and it's just the very beginning. So everything to do with supporting the families, financial means. The reality is that most of these families, from that day, their lives stopped and they moved to a parallel universe, a universe of uncertainty, a universe of fear, And it's almost like the analogy of being at Shiva, which just doesn't finish. It really is that. And so these families are going to need support now and for the long term. And a lot of these people have stopped working. You can't work in these situations. And so it goes without saying that there is over 240 families, an average of 5 to 6 plus members who are going to need a lot of support, and that's going to cost. At the same time, these are such uncharted waters. We don't know what is going to need to happen in order to get the hostages home. We'll try everything. So the government and the official channels are doing whatever they can do, obviously. But the civilian effort is focusing both on supporting the lobbying and the campaigning and also drawing awareness. You know, we're now 41 days in and still this is the top of the news, and that is absolutely critical. We came with Thomas and others to speak to everyone who will listen, to keep this into people's mindset. And again, we hope that it will have the direct impact. The final thing I'll say, and then I'll let you carry on with this beautiful service, is in terms of proportionality. We came just this evening from meeting the head of the memorial at 9/11, the head of the museum, and we were standing by the survivor tree, which was very poignant because we want to focus on life and light, and we know that the hostages, we pray that they'll come home. But to put it in perspective for all of you here, and you all know the impact of 9/11 on the American country, the equivalent in terms of people for Israel per capita is the equivalent of over 9,000 people being taken hostage, of which 2,500 of those would be children, and over 45,000 people to have been killed. The country needs help, and it needs the community around the world, the Jewish community in particular, to support in every way possible, from telling the story, from speaking up, from standing out, from putting our hands in pockets and helping those families, and for love. And I can tell you, we went to another community yesterday, and for the families, having the hugs at the end was as important as the CBS news articles and as important as the checks. So I'm sure every one of you here can do something which feels right from your hearts, and we thank you, and we look forward to seeing Emily back home very soon. Happy birthday, Emily.